do you think, then?
In a word, Patrick, lockdown. That's why new car sales have been very, very slow during 2021. We had a lot of the world economy shuttered during 2020 and into 2021. That meant even though there was a lot of pent-up demand for new cars, a lot of those new cars weren't delivered. So a record low number of new cars was registered, as you said, the lowest for 30 years. But the good news is that if you take 2021 as a whole, yes, new car registrations were below 2020. But if you take December 2021, new car registrations were 18% higher than in December 2020, because as the year went on last year, those new car registrations accelerated from a real low at the beginning of last year. So that means the trend is very much up, even though the headline figure here is bad for new car registrations. And the SMMT, who you mentioned there, the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, the industry body that put out these numbers today, I spoke to their CEO, Mike Hawes, earlier, and he's actually really upbeat about new car sales in 2023. This is what he said.
2023, we're actually forecasting an uplift, maybe 15%. So we're going to look counter-cyclical. Yes, the economic challenges everyone faces are severe. But most people buy a new car on a form of finance, which fixes in a cost for 3 or 4 years. And if the cost of running that new vehicle is cheaper than the one you already own, it can be advantageous to a household income.
Yeah, but what about the kind of type of cars, Liam, that were bought? Is there a change there at all?
Well, lots of GB News viewers and listeners will know that, you know, the talk down the pub these days, oh, I got a hybrid, oh, I got an EV, oh, you don't want to get a diesel, mate, because diesel's a lot more expensive.
I've got a diesel.
So have I got a diesel.
Yeah.
I've got 3 diesels, actually. But anyway,
all
that's
all right. It's not a competition,
that's
mate.
Big family. Yeah, we're competing on how stupid we were.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Given that Gordon Brown told us, oh, buy a diesel, that'd be great. Anyway, that's another story. So what's happening is there is a big shift going on away from diesel and towards electric vehicles. Here's some of the numbers here, again, from the SMMT published this morning. Petrol cars, they were 55.9% of all car sales, new car sales in 2022. So more than half. But look at diesel, Patrick. Less than 10%, just 9.6%. Just a few years ago, diesel was half of all cars, vans and trucks that were bought in the UK. After 2015, though, you had that Volkswagen emissions scandal. Diesel was seen as a lot less environmentally friendly. Cost of diesel went up a lot. And look at electric vehicles coming through. 16.6% of pure electric vehicles were sold. Vehicles sold in 2022 were electric. So overtaking diesel for the first time in history. And then you've got your hybrids. These are cars with petrol or diesel engines. They were 11.6%, but they've got a battery in there as well. And the engine charges the battery, and then you switch the battery, switch back to petrol or diesel. So these are sort of hybrid cars. They give you a bit more range. But all in all, it's a really big change. The first time that we've seen diesel dip below petrol, electric vehicles. And we're going to see a lot more of this, of course, because the law as it stands is that the UK will ban sales of new petrol and diesel cars by 2030.
Are people going to get clobbered, though? Because, you know, we're seeing things like ULEZ, right? We're seeing congestion charge.
That's the London emission charge.
Yeah, and Birmingham as well. Because I got 2 tickets in Birmingham, one on the way in and one on the way out. I didn't realise, but anyway, thank you, Birmingham. And but when let's say everyone goes to electric, aren't they just going to end up ramping up taxes on things like that? And they're going to ramp up, they'll find a new charge. Are people just going to end up getting clobbered? It's not actually a money saver to go electric, is it?
I don't know. I'm on the record a lot saying that I think that in terms of technology, electric is a blind alley because you still need to generate the electricity, right? And a lot of that electricity is still generated from fossil fuels. So it's not even as if they're necessarily green. Electric cars use 5 times more copper, Patrick, than conventional combustion engines. Copper is going to go to the moon. It's going to become the new oil in terms of the price of copper. All those rare earths in those batteries in electric cars, cobalt, lithium and so on, many of which tend to be disproportionately in countries that don't particularly like us, like China and elsewhere. So I actually think the best technology for cars is hydrogen going forward. Now, that might be an unfashionable view, but I think among a lot of scientific people, that is the conventional wisdom. But we'll have to see. A huge amount of change going on. I think what is good about these figures, you've got the SMMT and others saying there will be more new car sales this year. I don't think used cars, which have gone prices very high over the last year or two, I don't think they're going to come down in price particularly. But at least we will be selling more cars of whatever hue, petrol, diesel, electric. And a lot of those cars are made in Britain. We are still a major car maker. People put us down, but that's good for jobs.
Lovely.